welcome to Chris Parkin Shooting Sports. This is the eagerly awaited Mauser 25 straight pull rifle that everybody's been wanting to see and hear about, and me, being me, Mr. Picky Parkin, I have given it my full rundown, and I have to say I do like it, and I think it is a rather good tool for a job. Anyway, let's talk about it. So this is the max version, which is a beech laminate stock. Some laminates are birch laminate, but this is a beech laminate. It's slightly heavier than the other two versions of the rifle. This one comes in at 3.6 kilograms, whereas the extreme polymer stock or the pure walnut stock come in at 3.2 kilograms. But overall dimensions in terms of length at 1000 millimeters, which is 39 inches, are pretty much the same. This one's got a 510 millimeter 20-inch barrel. It's cold hammer forged, and it shoots pretty well, as you can see on paper, with both regular lead bullets and copper bullets too. It's screw cut 15x1 for a sound moderator or muzzle brake if that's your preference. I put the sound moderator on it, which Blaser UK, Mauser and Sauer, all sister companies, that's the sound moderator supplied to me. The barrel fully free floats in this stock, so you get no intermittent contact, and the fore end of this stock is rigid, so you've got no movement of zero when you're shooting from different positions or sticks or prone or supported from quad sticks, anything like that. It's been very consistent. The fore end's got checkering on it, the grip's got checkering on it, and this is obviously a thumb hole version of the stock, but most importantly, it's got an adjustable cheek piece on it to cure the problems of those people who want to align a little bit more critically carefully to their scope if it's something that they prioritise. Now, one bit of critique people have said, oh, it's got a rail mount on it. Rail mounts put the scope really high and it's not got adjustable eye relief and you can't get it to set up right. And someone criticised this on the unboxing video. Well, literally, I took it out of the box, thought, scope's a little bit far forward. I'll move the scope back. I did, and it shoots fine. This one is the rail mount version, and that's mainly because this is an early rifle that's come in from the show distribution of Germany and places like that. It's gone around the shows quickly, and in Germany, rail mounts are more popular than ring mounts, but you can have this as well as the rail mount. You can have it with the Blaser mounting system, and you can also have it with a Picatinny rail, which would be my choice. And that gives you custom most versatility for using any daylight scope, night vision, thermal imaging, whatever you want to use.
To access the scope mounting rail, take the magazine out and take a T20 Torx key. That goes underneath
through there, and it can access the 2 rear screws on the underside of the scope rail. This is for the rail mount option, of course, and then the front mount is actually a little turning dial in there, and you need to put an Allen key through it like that, and you can then incrementally tighten it or loosen it using that as a lever. Once the scope is actually off, you can remove this rail from the barrel itself, and then you can swap it if you want to for a Picatinny rail or the Blaser scope mounting system. It's important to note that it isn't a switch barrel rifle like a Blaser is, but not everybody uses the switch barrel capability of the Blaser. Now, so far this rifle is only available in 308, but it will be available in 243, 6.5 Creedmoor, 6.5 55, 8x57, 7mm Rem mag, 30.06, 300 Win mag. Will one of those fit the bill for you? I think it should do. Right, this one comes with a 3-round magazine. It's a polymer magazine. It's a single column mag. It's got twin release buttons on the side here, which I like to drop out the stock. And it goes in, it just prefers a slight rear first movement into there, but once you get used to that, that's absolutely fine. Single column does mean it won't feed from the top, and if I was to say there's only one thing about this rifle that isn't my perfect specification, I do like a twin column mag, but there are reasons you can't have a single column mag when you've got a push feed round bolt face, because you haven't got 2 lower lugs picking them up from the sides. You need it to feed from the centre, and because a 5-rounder is available if you need a little bit more firing capacity. To be fair, loading in the gun is nice, it's great if you can do it, but it's not the huge job to have spares. And of course, having a rifle with a completely open top to the breech area like this means you can quickly single load rounds very easily, and it doesn't matter if you can clip them in the mag or not. Length of pulley is 359mm, which is 14.1 inches, and that makes it pretty versatile for most shooters. You can also get recoil pad spacers to increase length of pull if you want to. The trigger is a single stage unit, and it's adjustable from 700 to 1700 grams. It is crisp, it is predictable, and I have very much enjoyed shooting this rifle, so much so that I shot it a lot more than pretty much any other review rifle I've ever had, mainly because I wanted to prove it and myself wrong, and I can't. It is good. Let's look at some of the other features. Now, you can't see the safety catch super easily, but it's a 2-position safety catch, and it's on the tang here. So forward for fire, rear for safe. And when it's on rear for safe, the bolt's locked. But there is a small button on top of it. You can see just in there. You press that down, the bolt will open absolutely straight, and you can unload safely then if you need to. It is a safety catch. It's not a decocker, but you know, you have options in life with rifles, and everything's got to be done to a certain price point. This rifle comes in at a very realistic price, I think, and I'll put the links in the description so you can consult your local supplier over the different model you want to use. I'm just going to check now. I've got a hot chamber, single feed one. I'm just going to let that piece of brass heat up a little bit. Let it get warm. I think that's as... Can't complain, can you? The bolt manipulation on it is phenomenally light and fast and stress and trouble-free.
I just love shooting it.
Now, in terms of corrosion resistance, it's got a plasma oxide coating, so Mauser are assuring you that that's going to resist any kind of waterborne corrosion, but don't forget, sweaty fingertips are a bad thing for corroding rifles. And last but not least, as well as this right-hand version you can see here, it is also available in left-handed, and it's a no-cost option. And that is one of the fundamentally excellent things about this Action design, in the fact that realistically, it's just a mechanical swap over. I'm not sure it's something you can do yourself, but the rifle is available either way around. Right, let's talk about the bolt, because that is the big thing everybody wants to know about. Now, in fairness, it's got an adjustable cheek piece, and I can't take that bolt out without dropping the cheek piece. I need the Allen key for that, so I'll just pop that out of the way. Now, please do bear in mind that a huge number of shooters will never take the bolt out of their rifle anyway. And if you actually look at the character of the German market, for example, in terms of what people do with rifles, it's very different to the UK market. We all have our little preferences in hunting culture in different countries, and it's just a small difference. Maybe some people will and some people won't be bothered about that. Personally, that doesn't worry me at all, and it doesn't mean you can get excellent alignment. Now, if I push the button down on the side of the Action here, that bolt will come straight out there, and this shows you the design. Now, I can't actually artificially activate this bolt when it's not in the rifle, but essentially you've got two lugs, one on the top and one on the bottom. And when the bolt locks, it's called the spread lock 250 Action. Those flip apart and you actually get 66 square millimeters of locking area, which is 10% more than the legendary Mauser 98. So Mauser really are backing themselves up with their own legendary reputation. So many people want to criticize new designs, but the fact is, life has moved on over the last several millennia. We have better machinery, we have better programming, we have better materials. We can make things differently to how they used to be made, and just because something used to be made that way by hand with a man with a file, it doesn't mean it's better than a 5-axis or a 7-axis CNC machine, which is milling away to your heart's content, producing precision firearm components. Now, the Action is steel, the bolt rails are steel, so this just needs a little bit of a wiggle, flips back in position, and it's ready to go again. Essentially, looking at the stages of it, it just goes forward this easily. Now, I will say, I actually possibly could have shot smaller groups with this rifle, but the reason I didn't is because I just found it so addictive to shoot quickly. And because of the fundamental design it is, people are attracted to the speed of fire. That doesn't detract whatsoever from the fact it's actually a very accurate rifle, the equivalent of any sporting rifle in 308 of a similar price point I've ever used. But you just can't help yourself just operating it that quickly, because that is how fast it is. That bolt handle just fits on your fingertips, and then you just push this forward with the base of your thumb, and it really is that fast, and you can see on video. But some people say, oh, that's really noisy, isn't it? Well, actually, if you just want to operate it quietly like a regular bolt action rifle, you can do, because the bolt itself doesn't require any specific operating speed to get the ammunition to chamber or to eject. I specifically got the barrel hot and didn't eject immediately after firing because I wanted to see what primary extraction was like. I've used quite a few different designs of straight pull rifle and bolt action rifle, and primary extraction can sometimes be incredibly weak, especially on some straight pulls. But I didn't have that problem here, and you will see me on video literally putting a fingertip on there, and although my fingertip may have slipped off the bolt handle when I was trying to deliberately promote a fault, there is no fault. Primary extraction is forceful, and the ejection is also excellent. It throws the brass wide, and of course if you have the left-handed version, gives you the option too. So you're going to have no problem having a completely left-handed rifle in the Mauser 25.
Firing.
Spotting. Just underneath.
Firing.
Spotting.
Oh well.
Now, with it being a 3-round magazine, I shot 3 shot groups with a variety of ammunition. We had a 150 grain SST, 165 grain SST, that's 168 grain ELD match. That, I believe, is 150 grain CX copper, and that is ECX, the European copper from Hornady as well. Now, all those will meet your sub-MOA requirements with absolute ease, and this was shot at 100 metres, not 100 yards. It's actually 9% further anyway. So I have no doubt in that at all. The only time I did do something wrong was I got it so hot and I shot it for so long, having so much fun. I did actually let the moderator get a little bit loose, and I did then notice it opened up a teeny tiny bit, but that's my fault, nothing to do with the gun. So I set it up 100 metres on the range, zeroed it, no problems at all like that. Just moved the eye relief just very slightly to suit me, checked parallax, all the things on the scope, and just had a nice time shooting it. I shot a lot more ammunition through it than I thought I should do generally with any other regular review rifle, but thanks to Hornady I do have plenty to shoot, and this was an action I really wanted to shoot with. We went out to another farm and Dave wandered out, put some steel gongs out, put one out at about 205 metres, which I think on the first round actually managed to break off, but that's on video, you'll see. And the other plate ended up at 270 metres, which is 300 yards. I shot prone on that, I shot sitting on that, I shot from sticks on that, quad sticks, and we just generally had some great fun. And we weren't specifically shooting super slow fire precision shots, we were shooting fast because we wanted to see from every variety just how good this bolt is. Now the point is, the lighter the bolt operation on any action, the less disturbance you have to your point of aim. So as well as the recoil from the rifle, which disturbs your shot slightly, you don't really want to be heaving and tussling at a bolt. And of course, with this being like that, it is literally straight backwards and forwards into your shoulder, and it doesn't need artificial force pushing it forward to chamber it, which draws it out of your shoulder. Now of course, you might complain again about the noise, but if I want to do it slowly, I can do it slowly and quietly, and there's no issue whatsoever. Another thing to mention, if I just drop the bolt out, this rifle actually has a linear hammer, as you can see there. That works perfectly, and of course it means you've got no translation of linear movement to rotational movement to recock a striker. And an interesting point to state about that is that every single primer gets a really good firm strike to it, and you have no problem with any kind of weaker primed ammunition giving you a problem, which of course some striker driven rifles don't have quite such a hard firing pin strike. So that's another little factor that just seemed to work in the Mauser 25's favour. So when we want to move the cheek piece, we just pop it into position. Approximately there was where I wanted it. Just nip that up with the Allen key, and that's fine. It's not rattling, it's not giving any problems with movement or transmission of resonance through your cheekbone. The cheek piece is narrow, it fits under your cheekbone, it doesn't displace your jaw, and you get great linear alignment on the scope with fast movement and fast shooting capability. So I can go straight in there, and I'm not finding anything twisting the rifle, moving it in my shoulder, because all that force is coming backwards into my shoulder, and it isn't really a lot of force, as you can tell. That's one fingertip just moving that. It really is that easy. I cannot tell you how easy it is to load and cycle this rifle. But the point is, yeah, you do get that super fast fire movement, and if you are wild boar hunting and you do want that speed, great. If you're on the range and you want the speed, great. If you want to operate it slowly and quietly, no problems at all. It locks and chambers absolutely fine. You don't need to pull back a handle and let a spring whack it forwards. And of course you don't have that issue with a bolt carrier that's only moving a few millimeters trying to rotate an AR-15 style action to actually unlock and give you the primary extraction. And that's of course not how the Mauser works. It's got the innovative spread lock design, and I can't really criticize it at all. Now the last thing to cover is bolt travel, because some straight pull bolts do get a bit uncomfortable in your face, nose, cheekbone, etc. Now bolt travel on this is actually 127 millimeters, if I'm actually critical about that. No, it's actually 128 millimeters if I'm being super critical. Now that's actually 3 millimeters longer than one rifle I specifically don't like, because it's got a huge safety catch, not a decocker. It's a huge safety catch on the back, and it actually hits you in your eye when you open it because it's quite high up. Mauser have intelligently kept the profile of this very low, so I can cycle that without it tapping my face. Yes, I just feel it just brush past the end of my nose, but I've got quite a big nose, and it's certainly not something that I've had any problem with at all when shooting the rifle.
The dual plunger ejectors also mean the brass is forcefully flicked well away from the rifle, and of course it's suitable for a left or a right hander depending which side the bolt handle is placed.
So what's my overall opinion of the Mauser 25? I think it's a fundamentally sound rifle. It's a rare compliment I give things. I can't really criticise anything about it. Yes, I think maybe they should supply a 5-rounder as standard, but you know, how many deer stalkers in the UK need 5 rounds? Wild boar shooters, the 5-rounder is not difficult. It's polymer. Some people complain about polymer. Polymer is not as good as steel, but that is a fundamentally sound design that works quickly and easily, and of course it's not expensive to get spares. You could have a 3-round in the rifle, a 5-round spare in your pocket, and you can shoot quickly and change over easily in the field shooting. If you do need to add an additional round, you can pop it straight on top, close the bolt, and you've got no problem at all using the rifle quickly. locking is secure, bolt operation is very light, and the stock is stiff, and you can have it in multiple formats. I think personally, I'd probably just save those 400 grams, go for the extreme version, which has got the polymer stock, a little bit more long-term resistance to any kind of water ingress, but this is fully sealed, so you're not really going to get water ingress with it. And of course, with that plasma oxide coating, Mauser are pretty certain you're not going to have problems with corrosion on your barrel. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that review of the Mauser 25. I am hopefully going to be making a couple more videos of this because I hope to take it out to be shooting some longer ranges, maybe even out to 1,000 meters. But you know, it's kind of tricky shooting super quick at 1,000 meters when the wind's changing, this, that and the other. But it'll be interesting to see, and of course you have that zero disturbance to the rifle position. On the other hand, I'm also going to hopefully be taking it hunting, doing a bit of deer stalking in the south of England. So that video will be to come. So anyway, for now, I hope you've enjoyed this review. Please like, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell, and keep track of all the regular uploads. And of course, all information about the Mauser 25 will be listed in the description. And if you want to ask any interesting questions over the next week, I'll get back to you on that. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. Are we done shooting now?